Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to TED Talks Ball. Oh, Lawrence is already
I dropped
taking
the
out
mic to
some.
motherfuckers. Excuse me, Ted. See, I cussed that just that fast. My apologies, Ted.
It didn't take long. Yeah, he's taking out his aggressions on that microphone the way I've been taking mine out on the timeline today. So, more power to you, Lawrence. Good to see you, Lawrence Jackson
Great to be
at
back.
Bam
Great to be
Bam
with you.
LLD of Platform 246 here in the house. Let me get your banner rolling here too for you. But interesting stuff. Had an interesting show last night on East Coast Red and Gold. Some spirited discussion between Terradome and myself. I used to say he was one of the most respectful Purdy fans out there, but he got hella disrespectful with me and
I
hella
read that tweet.
disrespectful with Trey
Excuse
Lance.
me. You put that tweet up a
Yeah,
few days ago, and I saw that or something along. You spoke to him directly. I saw that and read that. Yeah, you did, man.
yeah, because I'd been amazed. Most, Purdy fans are like hate Lance, and up to that point, Terradome hadn't really showed that. But last night in the show, he really showed some hate. I mean, he pretty much said Lance flat out can't get it done.
Can't play.
Couldn't get it done. Can't play. Yeah, it was some inflammatory stuff, some stuff about me, making fun of me. I think he called me hee haw, which whatever. Um, that I was gloom and doom and a downer. It's just like, I think it's fair to say that we were super healthy last year in the playoffs to start the playoffs, other than QBs and Emmanuel Mosley. And, if Purdy stays healthy, QBs don't really bother you. Diamador Lenore played really well, so that took a lot of the sting out of losing Mosley. So, I mean, even some people thought he was maybe better than Charvarius Ward in the playoffs. So,
You put
if you
that
want to
out
call
there.
me doom and gloom for that, then so be it. That's fine. But let's see. So let's see here. We got some folks in the house. We had
Yes, we do.
Romello Bell coming in early on your channel. It says, I'll
What's
be
up,
waiting,
Mello?
bro. We got Brian Colpenhouse saying, hey, Ted. What's up, Brian? Everybody make sure you check out his channel. Good stuff
Please
going on
subscribe to
there.
Brian
He's also
Copeland.
saying, hey, Lawrence, he's bouncing between channels. And yeah, if you guys could, if you're on my channel, make sure you like
Please.
and subscribe on platform 246 also, and vice versa. If you're on Lawrence's channel,
Let
hop
me
on
say
over,
that,
give me a like and subscribe too. It'd be
Ted, if
helpful
you
for
don't
both of
mind.
us.
Yes,
Yeah.
please. If you are on from one of our folks, please subscribe to Ted. He's one of the hardest workers in all of 49 land. I mean that's on both Twitter and on the YouTube. Okay, so handle your business and subscribe to Ted. Follow him on Twitter as well. And
Thanks,
my
Lawrence. I
moderator's in
appreciate it.
here. You're very welcome. My first moderator is in here. Jong X is silent. Okay, so I wanted to get that out there. My very first moderator. What's up, John? I ain't talked to you in a while.
Very cool. Cinnamon Kiss saying hi to Bryant, saying hey to you and me, to Bam Bam and Ted. Okay, so there's Jong with the silent X saying yo yo. I'm going to try and show all the chats so that people different that are on the different channels don't feel like they're missing out on what's going on. I may not respond to all of them. Daniel Barry highlights in the house. Thanks for joining us. Jong, right? We got 187 in the house. Bang Bang Niner Gang. 187's a
Bang
big
Bang Niner Gang.
Purdy fan, but pretty respectful all in all. We get into it, we argue, but we neither one of us gets personal with the other, and so that's good. We got all right. So Lawrence is just saying hi. We got Bebop Jones in the house saying sup, Ted and Lawrence, coming to us from the Philly area. So we'll be looking for his insight week 13, if not sooner, as to the mood in Philadelphia leading up to that big showdown. Carcast in the house saying, what's up, guys? What's up, Carcast? Thanks for joining. And he's saying, how's everybody doing today? Better now that you're here, for sure. So thanks for joining. Alberto Soto in the house. Bang, bang, Niner Gang. Thanks, Alberto. Appreciate it. Got Jess in the house saying, what's up, faithful? She was there last night in the middle of all that mess that Terradome and I were putting on. So I apologize to Jess and to Bex and Maddie B and Ty. They had to sit through a lot of raised voices, but that can make for some good viewing if everybody's just getting along and saying you're great.
It definitely would have got ratings. It would have got ratings, Ted.
Yeah.
We'll
see. I hope so. Jess and her
Trigger
folks
Trey,
deserve
yes.
good ratings. And so if I have to jump on a grenade to do it, then so be it.
Respect to you for it, Ted. Respect to
take
you
my
for it.
lumps.
You did take the lumps. I mean, you gave out quite a few as well, in my opinion. So, respect to you for having Trey's back and standing up for yours face to face. Well, as face to face as we can be. What a lot of you won't do. A lot of you Twitter warriors, a lot of you comment warriors, you wouldn't even get on a thing and speak to someone the way we are right now and give your opinion. Much less when it gets to being the way that conversation was going yesterday. So salute to you, Ted.
Thanks. Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah, there are a lot of like nameless, faceless, clueless Lance haters out there, and a lot of them follow Jack Hammer. It's really funny how that works. They show up every time Jack's arguing. But and there's another common thread among those folks. It seems to be something that has nothing to do with football, but I'll leave it at that. But Jess, thanks for coming. Thanks for having me on last night. I appreciate it. And always great stuff on your show there. Bryant saying hi to CarCast. We got Romello here saying hello all. Bryant saying hi to Alberto.
What's up, Alberto?
Saying hi to Jess. And I'm
good to see you.
Great one in the house saying Trey going to shut all these MFs up. I sure hope so. I mean, I can't guarantee it, but I got a really good feeling about it. I'll just say that. He has all the tools he needs to be great. I think he just needs an opportunity, some experience. He's got the revamped mechanics he's been working on. We're just all dying to see what he can do with CMC. So we've never seen him with CMC and barely seen him with Kittle. Those are two huge differences. That's a crazy thing about a lot of these Lance haters. They're sitting there like, oh, well, Kittle didn't make that much difference because he barely targeted him. Well, they only played in one game together, or one full game at least. And Kittle has a huge Kittle has a huge impact. Kittle has a huge impact even when he's not being targeted because he blocks and because of his gravity. The eyes that he draws attention away from other players on the offense by getting defensive attention. So yeah, I'm just gonna click through these. Got a pineapple for Bryant. That's his new fires emoji. So Bebop saying he'll be at Pittsburgh and Philly, God willing. So week 1 and week 13. Pittsburgh's going to be a tough one. We've got TJ Watt's back and healthy, and they got Alonzo Highsmith on the other side. So pretty much every play, you can assume one of those guys will be going up against McKivitz in his first ever start at right tackle. I think he's a little bit better of a pass blocker than McGlinchey, but still it's a scary proposition for whoever's quarterback, whether it's Purdy, whether it's Lance. I hope it's not Sam Darnold. 6 Cent Sammy, I'm calling him. But
he won't see
whoever it is
field in a regular season uniform. Ted, put that on the books right now. That that gentleman, that ginger, will not see the field. Okay, and I've heard a lot of faithful, say the same thing that you're saying right now, that Pittsburgh is going to be tough, but I don't believe that.
There you go. Well, they have
an excellent defense. Yeah. Well, he's gonna be throwing some picks. There'll be some picks thrown. We'll be picking it. Don't even worry about it, faithful. That ass beating is coming week 1. I don't care if I was starting at quarterback. I honestly, I believe for that, at least that week 1 game, sit back and take it easy, Ted. Let some of that off your chest. Don't even worry about it.
I like it. You heard it here first, folks. Bam Bam guaranteeing the week 1 victory. Nothing would make me happier. There you go. Because I feel pretty good about the Rams in week 2. Giants in week 3, a little bit tougher, but I guess there was that news about Saquon that he is saying he'll sit out rather than play on the franchise tag. So, yeah, that would be he would have to be back and also back, into practicing for a little while to play in that game. It'll be interesting to see. It'd be nice to not have to face Saquon Barkley. Danny Dimes doesn't really scare me that much. Although they do get Darren Waller from the Raiders, and he'll probably be healthy still by that point in the season. So, and he's a hell of a tight end for sure. No doubt about it. At least as a receiving tight end. He doesn't block very well. But just saying, love you, Ted. Thanks, Jess. The feeling is mutual for sure. Silly Fungi in the house. He's a Rams fan, but he's pretty cool. Usually brings some dad jokes.
Respect.
So welcome, Silly Fungi. Always has good stuff to say.
I'll be back in the Inglewood area soon, sir.
Hi. Philly halftime in the house. I guess that's an Eagles fan, so maybe he'll weigh in about Eagles, and with the Eagles, obviously, they beat us, but Purdy wasn't healthy. So having a healthy quarterback will make a big difference. And the Eagles, they had what looks to be a real good draft, but they're replacing a lot of players on defense. Whether it's C.J. Gardner-Johnson, the great safety who went to the Lions, or T.J. Edwards, the great linebacker who went. Do you also go to the Lions, or you go to the Bears? I think he went to the Bears along with Tremaine Edmonds, T.J. Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. I'm pretty sure the two linebackers for the Bears now, which is a hell of a tandem. But the Eagles lost all their starting linebackers in the offseason.
I didn't realize that.
And then, yeah. And then the big one, of course, is Javon Hargrave, because not only did the Eagles lose him, but we got him. And it came up last night, and I love the analogy. It's a lot like Charles Haley going from the Niners to the Cowboys back in the 90s. Then all of a sudden, the Cowboys are winning all these NFC championships until we finally got Deion Sanders and finally smoked them and got our last Super Bowl win. So, yeah.
I hope it's
not just a get a great player like Javon Hargrave is great, but then to take him from your most fierce rival, that's even better. That's just as good as it gets there. So we'll see. Alberto Soto's Nazi saying, so what are these rumors going around about ATL being interested in Trey? Well,
bunch of BS.
I mean, did you see the source? The guy has 5,000 followers. I have more followers than he does, and I'm not even a reporter.
He's the source is in Zimbabwe too, Alberto. Don't worry about it. It's some idiot on the internet whose tweet got picked up. Literally, that's all it is.
He also predicted that we would pick Justin Fields at number 3 overall. And he said, well, it might be Mac Jones, but it's almost certainly Justin Fields. So I'm like, oh, so he was wrong about that
profile
one.
Picture. That's what I said.
No doubt about it. Yeah, and then I guess some of our content creators ran with some of it. The first one we ran with, it just got dragged, and then Larry Krueger retweeted that person, and I don't want to name him because I like the one who went with it first.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, and
I won't say either then.
Larry Krueger, yeah, because I love that guy.
I'm whatever.
Then Larry Krueger retweeted it, and he's listing all these players for the Falcons that he would take for Lance. It's none of them are difference makers. None of them are going to sit in, go and start for our team. If they're not going to make a difference, then what's the point of the trade? It's and I said, the source is not credible. We aren't trading Lance. Take your L, because he's still. He said we were going to trade. Krueger said we're going to trade Lance at the during the draft, and now he's still on it. It's just
their whole family is retarded. Ted. I mean, I'm sorry. I know that's a bad word these days. My apologies, folks. Their whole family is slow, going down the dumb hill, and the smartest person in that family, I think, is Freddie. Is that other guy Krueger on Twitter? Is that are they related? Is that his
Kevin?
son?
Yeah, that's his son. Yeah, he's a producer on his show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The best person coming out of that family's name is Freddie. Okay. That's again.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
The
sight of him makes me sick, and all that dirt hair, whatever he wants to call that on his face. The sight of him makes me sick. My name is Larry, so he's doing me a major disservice by existing. Honestly.
There you go. Jimmy Perez in the house saying, what's up? Bebop saying, I hope Brandon Willis will shows up. We need a solid tight end too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, him or Cameron Latu are both have a shot at it, I think. I think
which one do you think has the best chance out of the two of those?
We took Latu in the 3rd round, so you got to figure he has the better chance.
Well, hopefully it's him.
And Braden Willis was a 7th round. So I really like Braden Willis a lot, especially for where we got him. But it's hard to argue against that draft positioning unless, it's one of these things like, Kyle took a 3rd round tight end, like he takes 3rd round running backs, and then the later guy ends up being the one that Adam Peters took. Then, maybe Brendan Willis, Brendan Willis does have a shot at it. So or Braden Willis, not Brendan.
Right.
Salty Cyclist in the house saying after last year's week 1 with the team had 12 penalties, mostly on the D. I hope they still have that on their minds in Pitt. Yeah. We had almost 100 yards in penalties against the Bears. The Bears only had 200 yards in offense. We had a drive extending penalty on every single Bears scoring drive. 2 third down and longs that turned into first, and a second down that turned into first and goal when Kinlaw held inside the 10. So literally every single drive, you could say our defense handed it to them. So I hope we play a lot more of error-free football in Pittsburgh than we did in Chicago. Part of it was that
loss is on Trey, though. That loss is on Trey. Yeah. Trey Lance's ass and his back. It's on his record.
It is. Yeah. No, it is. And I don't sit here and say he's not to blame at all for it. Right. He didn't have a great game. He threw that interception. He had the incompletion to Debo short. He had the incompletion to Croft long. But he did throw three or four really nice passes. I just say that there were a lot of things that conspired against us more than Lance did in that game. The defense was huge. Offensive line had a terrible game. We gave up some sacks to some guys that never had another sack the rest of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Gibson dropped a pick. Debo lost a fumble inside the red zone, which cost us 3 to 7 points. I think all 3 of those things would go ahead of Lance on my list of culprits for that game. So,
did you mention Catman? Did you mention Catman?
Oh, Pettis, the blown coverage on Pettis. Yeah,
the greatest play of his career.
I was talking. Yeah, Hufanga and or Dre Greenlaw blew that coverage.
Thank you both.
So, yeah,
all pro Talano, fucking up. How?
Yeah, they didn't do anything. Pettis did barely anything the rest of the whole season. That was like his shining moment for the entire season in week 1. So yeah, Catboy, good riddance. I'm still glad he's gone. Great one says, why would the Falcons trade for Trey now? Makes no sense. Well, I mean, if you're getting a good deal, then it always makes sense to get a good QB. I mean, or if they don't trust Ritter, I don't think that highly of Desmond Ritter, but some people do. Yeah. The Falcons definitely revamped their whole defense, and they got London and Pitts on that offense. They already had Tyler Algier, who was a hell of a back in 2022, and then they obviously drafted. I'm blanking on the guy's name, the number 1 back in the draft out of
this
Texas.
Bijou?
Yeah, Bijan Robinson.
Bijan, there we go. Bijan. Thank you.
Yeah, Bijan. Kind of like Dijon mustard, exactly. But Bijan.
Right.
Yeah. But of course, pardon me, but would you have any Grey Poupon? But of course.
Yes, the Grey Poupon.
Sorry, that's that old mustard commercial. But why would they? Yeah, I mean, if you have doubts about Desmond Ritter is why you would. Basically, or if you feel like you want to have 2 guys that are kind of unproven and young and see them duke it out, during camp and preseason, that might be a reason why. But yeah, I mean, to me, I don't believe the rumor. So, yeah. 27 says I was watching the Falcons on a stream. They said 3rd would be enough for a trade. Most Falcon fans will take him. Yeah, I mean, they wanted Lance number 4 overall when we took him number 3. So I think they've always had their eye on Lance since then, before and since.
Well, you can't
so that might be a reason why. The one that got away. Well, people were saying, what about Pitts?
You missed it. Sorry.
Kyle Pitts for Trey Lance, because some people were saying take Pitts at number 3 overall and maybe like, I don't know, Kellen Mond or Trask later in the draft, right?
Or even Mond. Yeah, you're right. Hell no, that was retardation again. It's the second time I had to throw that word out again. Let me just say something really quickly for all the faithful that may be watching your channel or mine. If you don't know, for me, not for you, for me, my oldest son's name is Trey.
Yeah.
So you don't have to ask. You don't have to ask who I'm pulling. But go Brock, go. I even said BCB for like 2 days, and then I stopped saying that. Because I'm a guy, but I even did that for like 2 days after when he hit like wildfire. I love Brock, but I prefer Trey. That's it.
There you go. Yeah, no, same way. I like Brock a lot, but I just like the idea of what I think Trey can and will end up being. Why do people rather see Brock start and not compete? Are they scared? Yeah, they're scared.
Yes, they are scared.
They're,
They're afraid
because if you're
history is
not scared, you say have a competition. Purdy will win. Who cares?
Purdy will win.
They
Exactly.
know that Lance has improved. They know that then we've never seen him with CMC, barely seen him with Kittle, and they know that it's not a slam dunk that Purdy is still better than Lance. Especially Purdy might not be as good as he was in 2022 after this injury, or might not be as good for a while. So we'll see. Here we go. Bam Bam saying please boast the like button from both channels. Exactly. Salty Cyclist is saying yes, they are insecure. Okay, so yeah, people are 100%. Silly Fungi is saying, what did the clock do when it was hungry? It went back for 4 seconds. That's good. There was another one he told about a digital clock not having hands or something. You have to dig that one up too, Silly Fungi. Mel's in the house, diehard Niners fan, almost. Thanks, Mel. Says platform, man. Hello to both of you. Hello, Mel. Thanks for joining. Niner by Nature says FESPN.
All right, Niner.
Yeah, we got into that last night when Terradome was saying that ESPN had Lance third on their depth chart, and I'm just like, dude, you can't put Purdy first on the depth chart until he's cleared to play for starters. And second of all, ESPN was, Schefter was wrong about Mac Jones at number 3. He was wrong about Mac Jones being traded during the 2023 draft. And I think they're wrong here too. I mean, ESPN wasn't at OTAs. They weren't at minicamp, but there are guys that were, true man, pretty much all said, even like the Lance haters, like Jack Hammer even said it was even. Most either said it was even or advantage Lance. So that's who I'm going off of, not ESPN, not Russ Tucker or whoever that other guy is, Ross Tucker, who, just came out. He was just on 95.7 The Game saying what he was saying. I'm just like, these guys are just looking for clicks, and I got the receipts. So I will be back.
ESPN is as bad as any. You fired Steve Young, but you didn't fire Adam Schefter's punk ass. What? Great one. 100% correct. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Graver has a great comment right below. He may not even be ready. Camp starts in 13 days. He's not even going to be able to throw live reps in 13 days. Give Trey and Samuel a chance. Stop.
No doubt. And then Jess was saying Trey isn't being traded. I agree. That's what I've been saying all along.
Silliness.
Saying Debo that like button. Thanks, Niner by Nature. He's saying hope all's well. Definitely better now that you're here for sure.
Sorry.
Mel says it's 4:20:30 here. Just tuning in. Love it.
I have something right here, Miss Mel, but I'm with my man Ted. I don't smoke on everybody else's channels. When we do the tandem, I don't smoke. Right? Something to the side for the rest of the lunch.
Don't stop on my account. Whatever helps you be your best. I say, if it's a PED for you, then smoke away. That's all
it's not. I don't need that to get down on here, but it just drops my eyes lower. That's all.
She's saying Trey area. That reminds me too much of Papa. I'm not happy with Papa right now. Another one with this, like, oh, Brandon Allen's too good to be, put on the practice squad. Maybe, would you be open to trading Lance? I'd be like, I'll be open to trading Papa.
I see now why the Raiders dropped your ass. I see it now.
Exactly. Is there a link to the Guess YT channel? I guess I didn't put in the description. I just put the name. It's called Platform 246. So just type that in YouTube.
Salty. Yeah, if you type that in there, Platform 246, you look for that. Boom. Look for that logo when you do. By my son's own hands. Platform 246. You won't miss it, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I should have put the link. My bad on that one.
We are good. And the same goes. Please, everybody, subscribe to TED Talks. If you type that into Ted, it's either TED Talks Ball
or TED H6
or TED H6.
TED H. It works on Twitter and on YouTube. Yeah, both of those work.
Thank you sincerely.
TED Talks Ball. The winner between Trey and Sam, do you guys believe them will not be on the team because they play a team playing for a third string? Well, I mean, Sam, we already guaranteed him 3.5 guaranteed. So, I mean, I guess if we could trade Darnold, but
Yes,
I don't see us cutting him.
He won't get cut. I think we trade or he'll make the team. I do, yeah, 100% that.
Yeah, there we go. And Mel's saying just let them duke it out in preseason. Yeah. I can't wait. I kind of agree with that, but then I feel like last preseason, everybody duked it out, and Purdy ended up QB3, and you could argue he was our best quarterback in 2022. Yeah. So it doesn't give me a lot of confidence that Kyle will pick the best quarterback for week 1. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I hope we do. Bottom line, Brock may not be ready. If Trey starts the season out, there'll be no way to go back to Brock. Well, no, I mean, if Lance comes in and struggles, plays poorly, and loses, or even if he plays poorly and wins, you could go back to Purdy. If he plays well and we win, yeah, obviously, then you can't go back to Purdy if you're winning. And there's no chinks in the armor. He looks like he's doing what Purdy could do, and maybe more. No one wants to talk about the flip side. Interesting. I guess that's if Purdy comes in and plays well, you don't go back to Lance, which is probably true. I mean, that's sort of what it is. Do you know who Ted's guest is? What's his? Oh, okay, so we got that. Yeah, it's Lawrence Jackson Jr. at Bam Bam. Oh, you know why? Because I don't have a stupid thing. I put it in and I never flew the band.
Oh, Lord. There you go. Boom. Ted got it.
So that's part of the reason for the confusion. My bad.
It's all good, brother.
I had it edited, but I just didn't hit the show. So there you go. Lawrence Jackson Jr. at Bam Bam LLD on Twitter. Platform 246 is
thank you, Ted.
On YouTube.
Thank
you, yeah. So, amen.
Really appreciate y'all.
Much love. For clicks. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of these people, their like whole thing is like, yeah, we just want clicks and we'll do whatever it takes. Who cares if we believe what we say? Who cares if we're right or wrong? As long as I get engagement, then I don't care. And I just refuse to do that. It'll take me longer to build my platform this way, but I will have a rock solid foundation. You always know whatever I'm saying. I'm not just going to switch willy-nilly. I did switch up on Jimmy G, but it took years for me to come around and finally figure out he wasn't the answer. And then since then, I've been very steadfast against Jimmy G, and I still am. I'm glad he's gone. I just hope he passes his physical with the Raiders so he stays gone. That's all I can say.
I was in love with Jimmy G for a hot second too. Ted. I don't know. We weren't really conversing back then. I don't know if you were on YouTube. I damn sure wasn't.
I wasn't. No. That was week 3 of 2021 against Green Bay when I was just like, we're only going to get as far as we can carry this clown. And that's we're not going to win a Super Bowl with Jimmy G. Yeah.
My day was Emmanuel Sanders doing that in the end
Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was it. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I still thought, in 2020 shook me a little when he got injured and maybe could have played and didn't play. That shook me some, but I still, and obviously then when we drafted Lance, I figured it's just a matter of time before Lance takes over, and so like week 3 against Green Bay of 2021 was when I'm like, all right, I'm ready for all Lance now. No more Jimmy G. Like, enough of this bridge QB stuff. Like, sit him.
More James. Zero James.
Oh, fingers crossed, baby. Fingers crossed. We'll see. There we go. So Salty. Oh, so Silly Funky dug up the other joke. What did the digital clock say to his mom? Look, Mom, no hands. Wah, wah, wah. Salty Cyclist laughing. Give us a laugh. Almost 420 for me, LOL. There you go. People are sparking up.
It's always 420 for me. I'm just going to be wrong.
And then I have no idea what y'all mean.
There's I don't even celebrate that or the time of day, that day. None of that, okay?
Just whenever.
It's all day.
There you go.
All day, every day.
There you go. Always time. Forget 5 o'clock somewhere. That's more of a drinking thing anyway. Brian Culp says, I think every year should be a QB competition. I mean, until you get your guy and you're sure you got your franchise QB. I mean, at that point, you trade the other one away. Whether it's Purdy, whether it's Lance, then you trade the other guy away and let them have a shot somewhere else. But until that time, yeah, it should be a QB competition as long as there's question marks. And we have question marks. How good is Lance with his new mechanics? How good is Lance with CMC? How good is Lance with more Kittle? How good is Purdy with this newly reconstructed arm? These are all big questions that need to be answered
Can Sam Darnold,
before week one.
Do we have the Ghostbusters in Santa Clara? Is Kyle the Ghostbuster? Maybe he is.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's not. Maybe no one is. Maybe Jesus is not the Ghostbuster for Sam. So that's cool, though. But Trey and Brock, we do still have a couple of questions, I think, for them.
No doubt. ESPN fired their common sense and brains occipital lobe. The big word, SAT word for you there.
Word of the day.
That's part of the brain,
of
folks.
the week. Emiliano.
Yeah. And when they fired everyone else last week, they definitely lost some good people. The two that hurt the most, Bam Bam already brought up, Steve Young. Susie Colbert also I thought was really good. Fixture. I'll definitely miss her. I was saying this one stings when let her go. And when Steve, I was like, man, you guys get what you get after this. So, not much love left for ESPN. And I think all those cuts were basically to pay for Pat McAfee, who I actually like his show, but sad to see the others go. Wow. So,
Vince McMahon and them did the same thing, though. They cut somebody to give Pat a contract, put somebody to the sideline. Don't worry. It happens.
And then Salty sub to 246. He should have at least one more sub. That's good. Next Shift is saying, keep grinding, fellas. 100%. Thanks, Next Shift. Appreciate it. Platforms, YouTube. Oh, there's the link for anybody who wants it. That's very nice. QB sneak roll doesn't change. Do you think the 49ers are set up to utilize it? If so, would Lance be the best at it? Yes. I mean, I think so. I mean, Jimmy G was a great sneaker, and he didn't even need all that help. Like he did it from open formation. He was like one of the best ever. I mean, he literally only screwed up that one in Dallas during the divisional round, which is a huge one. Before we went to Green Bay, I guess it was the wild card round in 2021. But he almost handed the game back to them with that interception and that flubbed up 4th and 1 sneak. We almost handed the game back to the Cowboys, but I don't know who's better, honestly. I haven't seen Lance sneak much. I mean, you would think he would be better because he's a little bigger and a little more athletic, but Purdy's got that lower center of gravity. He did decently on some sneaks. He's no Jimmy G yet at sneaking, but I don't know. I honestly, he's got that lower center of gravity. Yeah,
5'11".
It's hard to say. That's hard to say.
I just think that Trey is. I mean, it's because I think he has the ball 4 inches higher than Purdy when the snap comes. Is the reason why I say that? Yeah. So if it's a foot, that's 12 inches. He already got 3/3 or 1/3 of the shit already covered because Trey's height. I'm just making up shit right now. I think Trey would be the one to do it because he's better, bigger, taller. Is all I really think.
There you go.
I could be wrong though. Purdy does have a little dumper, a little thick ass. Maybe that he would have him push. I don't know. We all saw him in his hot boy shorts proposing to his fiance. So
that's right. No doubt about it. Congratulations on that. Look at this team should just stay the way it looks, unless you compare that upgraded O-line. Let Trey start. He's not the guy. You put Purdy in, the longer he stays out, the better for him. Yeah, I mean, the longer Purdy has to rehab, the more chance he can get his arm back to 100% of what it was, or even 105% or 110%, or increase some arm strength through rehabbing. Because people say, oh, they got Tommy Johns and their arm got stronger. No, they got Tommy Johns and they rehabbed for 18 months, and during the rehab,
for a year and a
their
half.
arm got stronger. Right. It's not. And same thing with Joe Burrow. His arm got stronger when he was rehabbing from his ACL because he wasn't playing. He was able to increase his arm strength. Because when you play, then you got to rest and you got to practice, and it's hard to increase arm strength when you're playing a lot or every week, especially. So, so that's true. That's all good reasons why we should start Trey Lance week 1 for sure. Great one saying ESPN fired all those people because they're losing money. They signed Pat McAfee for $85 million for 5 years. Shaking my head. Yeah, I mean, the two are definitely linked. the firings came right after the Pat McAfee signing.
$17 million a year. He didn't even make that in the league.
No, not even close. Not as a kicker, punter, or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
Cinnamon Kiss says, LOL, Ghostbusters. Yeah, Sixth Sense Sammy. Oh, man. I hope we don't see him. But Lawrence said we won't, so I'm going to go with that. Dave McNiner in the house. Let's go.
I can carry it.
Got Twin in the house, saying the smear campaign is crazy. He says, what up, P? Disney lost $5 billion during COVID. It's not just because of Pat. Oh, I see. Disney. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess Disney's the parent company, so that makes sense. Thanks, Steve-O, for that fact. That's good to know. O-line upgraded once McGlinchey left. Pass blocking upgraded. I don't know about run blocking. He's a hell of a run blocker. So
may take a hit. We'll see.
Philly halftime's back this time on your channel. It says, "What is good, everyone? Thanks for joining."
What's good again, sir? Back. You, my man. Yeah. That's what's good.
Balling it up says, "We shall see." And do you think Brock can stop rolling to left of the pocket and trust his blockers? It'll be important for him if he wants to take the next step for sure. I know
he's doing the Jimmy G pirouette.
Caught up on the chat here, so that's good. We got 18 folks in the house. Everyone, make sure to like and subscribe on my channel and Lawrence's. That's platform 246. Yeah, it helps us both. What else we got? I mean, ultimately, it's just crazy to me that these people are trying to compare Brock Purdy to Mahomes. Jack Hammer is, and it's just like, dude, let it go. I'm like, you're losing credibility. He put out this stat that, that basically was saying that Purdy threw into tight windows a similar amount and had similar stats when he did. And it's just like, Purdy, isn't throwing as often as Mahomes. Mahomes is facing lots of too high safeties. And so it's just like,
good point.
They're daring Purdy to throw deep, essentially. And they're doing everything they can to keep Mahomes from throwing deep. And Mahomes throws more than any QB in the league, and Niners QBs throw some of the least often in the league. We're run first, so we're usually top 5 in run and one of the lesser passing teams, one of the least passing teams. So just trying to compare them, I just feel like it's box score scouting. It's looking at stats and not understanding context. If you watch them in games, I mean, look, I'll just say this, like Lance is TBD and Purdy is TBD, but Purdy will never be Mahomes, folks. I'm just going to say it right now. His TBD is not that level. And most guys aren't. Let's be fair. I mean, that's not a huge knock to say that. But somebody like Trey Lance, who has all these tools, he could end up being somewhere in that conversation someday. So time will tell. He certainly isn't now. I'll say that.
So I heard yesterday in the conversation that size didn't matter, arm strength doesn't matter, things like that. Over on Justice Channel, and subscribe to the Red and Gold if y'all haven't already. And then somebody, in comparing him to Mahomes is like at least. Did y'all see Patrick Mahomes last night on the ESPYs with his chest out, with his breasts out? Did y'all see him come on there with the suit jacket with no shirt on underneath there?
I haven't seen that yet.
Twitter, I'm sure it's out there somewhere. But Mahomes came out because he and his girlfriend Trevisha, his tight end, they went together last night as a tandem, basically. And then they had ladies with them too, but they were really the couple, and they were decked out in all white. But he looked awfully big on that stage. He didn't look shit like Mr. Brock Purdy, our quarterback. Like I said in the comments, he's at least 3 inches taller than Brock Purdy and about 35 pounds heavier. But people try to say, "Oh, well, yeah, they're like 100%. They look alike." No, they don't.
Now Purdy is like 6'1.5". Yeah,
maybe.
Mahomes is at least 6'2", And Mahomes is just thick. I mean, he's easily 230, 235, and Purdy is like 220 dripping wet.
With
I
me,
know a lot of
with me with my
people that
arm
have
around
met
his
him.
shoulder.
A lot of people that have met Purdy think he's smaller than the 220 he's listed at. I heard Grant Cohn talking about that, and I believe him for sure. Great one says Trey running game makes him better than McGlinchey with his threat to run too. That's an interesting point. Definitely, you have to spy Trey Lance with one of your guys in the box, and then if he can prove he can throw deep, then you're also keeping a guy out of the box, a safety out of the box too. So you're basically have two less people in the box defending your weapons with a guy who can throw deep and who is a running threat. Terradome in the house. He says, so 2024 Super Bowl, San Francisco versus Kansas City, Brock versus Mahomes. You got Mahomes and KC. I don't know. We'll see, Terradome. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I was saying this year, if Purdy had stayed healthy, I was saying it was maybe a 50-50 against the Eagles. I think sort of whoever had the ball last probably wins that game. I think they were both very evenly matched. I thought versus the Chiefs, I thought we were a slight underdog, at least like 45-55 or 40-60. So if everything stays the same next year, I would bet on KC, but not as a prohibitive favorite. Not like I wouldn't bet on the Niners. I would bet on the Niners if you gave me some points or something. But I wouldn't bet on the Niners straight up if it's all the same. Let's say it's Purdy, like you said, Purdy against Mahomes, and somehow we play about the same as we did in 2022 and 2023. And same with the Chiefs, which of course isn't going to happen. But let's just say I would probably want some points to take the Niners in that game, just because Mahomes has already won two. And all things being equal, trust me, the refs are going to favor Mahomes. I mean, they favor big name QBs.
Get the calls. Okay, yeah, 100%. But I don't believe that Brock Purdy can defeat which is my reasoning. First of all, I don't think Brock Purdy will be leading this team into the Super Bowl. Nothing in me says that, for two reasons. He didn't do it last year, no matter why he didn't do it. James did. But the second one is because I don't think he's going to be healthy. All of us who love Brock Purdy as a choice over Trey Lance, which is okay to do, faithful, which is what we all need to realize. It's okay to dislike a player and like another player on the team. These are not, people are not my brother. So anyway, the injury, I think, is going to keep him out. Camp starts in 12 days, but yet everybody is saying that Brock Purdy is going to be ready for week one. He's on target. What the hell does that mean? He can't. He's not going to be throwing live reps in 2 weeks. I bet you. Get it out of your brains, your dreams, all of it. He's not going to be throwing live football reps in 14 days. And then on the 13th of August, is he going to be ready? I don't think so.
Maybe.
Is he going to be ready to play a game on August 13th?
Oh, no. He would just be cleared to play, and then he would need to go through the mental reps. He'd need to be able to rip it.
The physical
trust reps. Himself, trust his arm to rip it. You need to trust his weapons and the timing with them. And you need to trust being able to be hit and get up and play. There's at least three major mental hurdles after the physical clearing that he would have to pass. And that'll take at least a few weeks, theoretically.
After that?
I mean, who knows? Maybe he could be incredible and do it. But I think realistically, people are thinking a few weeks for that to happen.
And then still, would he beat Patrick Mahomes if that's what the situation is that we're sprinkling out here? Would he beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl coming off that Tommy John Jr. surgery? Would he beat Patrick Mahomes? We all see how he plays, how they call games for him, the kind of crap that happens. We all see it. You're frustrated. Did James beat him? And you all were tasting him. All of you were tasting him, and some of you still are. Did we beat him? Did we beat him then when he was a baby? Did you see him last night come on TV with his chest out and say, we're about to run this back? No, I do not think Brock Purdy, as is, can defeat Patrick Mahomes. I think Trey Lance can.
There you go. You heard it first from Bam Bam. Terradome's going off about, go be a KC fan, like you said last night. No one's going anywhere, Terradome, and you shouldn't have to leave your team to get a franchise QB.
That doesn't even make sense. So for me, this whatever this says right here, it doesn't even really honestly make sense to say that type of stuff to people and fans. Those are the type of people that, and it's clearly football means everything to me. It's my sons, God, my sons, and then football, or my mom. And the 49ers are football. I don't respect anyone, no other teams, any other teams of the other 31. No, I don't like any players. If you leave us, I don't care about you. That's not me. I'm not that guy. I don't like other players. Not a single solitary one. There's a thing on the internet right now. Who do you want on the Niners? The ones that are here. Who'd you have on the Niners? No one that we didn't draft or that is not here now. So, saying go be another fan for another team. No, I'm a grown man and I'm realistic. And as emotional as I am about football, I am a grown man who is realistic and doesn't live in movie land. I look at football as a real life thing. And Brock Purdy, I do not think can defeat Patrick Mahomes. Just like you asses don't think Josh Johnson could have done it. Right? So if I ask you, can Josh Johnson, if he plays his perfect game, would he beat Brock Purdy? Would he beat Patrick Mahomes? And when you inevitably say no, what's the difference? The taste in your mouth for Brock. That's the only difference.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's just silly to argue. And we do got to wrap things up here. Unfortunately, we've had some really great interactions. So thanks everybody who showed up. Thank you,
everyone.
Bam Bam, Lawrence Jackson Jr., Platform 246. Check him out. If you're on his channel, make sure you like and subscribe mine. Same thing with people on TED Talks Fall. Head over to Platform 246. And we'll have to come back and hit this again soon. But appreciate everybody who was here. And CG was saying healthy Brock should start, no question, just no setback. I have questions, man. Healthy doesn't mean 100%, and physically or mentally.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Lance has improved. We never saw Lance with CMC, never saw him with Kittle. I'm saying Lance could already be better. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying he could be, and we may not know it yet. So we'll see. Time will tell. But
shoehorn Brock right back into the starting position.
Then we'll never know. Thanks, everybody. Peace and go Niners.